Welcome back to Broadway Grosses. Interesting stuff coming this week. A bunch of new shows opened and some big, juicy tea. Not really, but this is just the tea that I have on myself, so. That was the radiator, the heater. And Juliet went from 92.76 last week to 94.59 this week. A Beautiful Noise went from 800,215 last week to 843,922 this week, going from 62.42% last week to 67.12 this week. And the average ticket did go up considerably. Overall, I think A Beautiful Noise is not doing so hot. But again, my opinion on that hasn't really changed. Same with Juliet, doing just fine. Aladdin, which we were surprised that it had not made $1 million last week, went back to $1 million this week, going from 989,176 to 1,186,379, going from 93% to 95%. Bad Cinderella is doing bad business, going from 88.85% last week to 88.52% this week. And had 7 performances, and went from 568,165 last week to 592,938 this week, and an average ticket of $68, which is just terrible. I think this definitely is going to flop. I think everyone can see that. This show should have a 7 in front of it, an 8 in front of it. The fact that Bob Fosse's Dancing has a higher ticket price than this is honestly quite embarrassing. In the past couple of shows I've seen, every time I've heard one audience member talk about Bad Cinderella and how bad it was, so I think this show is a certified flop. Fosse's Dancing is doing decent. It had 82% this week compared to last week's 87%, going from 331,756 to 415,251. Which is not terrible, and it is doing better than I thought, but I still don't think it will be here next year. Camelot performed to 94.99% capacity for 4 performances and 486,692. Funny Girl went from 90.72 last week to 95.69 this week, going from 1,807,392 of last week to 1,850,558 this week. Hadestown went from 671,948 last week to 799,277 this week, going from 92.42% to 99.35%. Hamilton went from 1,633,986 last week to 1,915,462 this week, and 101% capacity compared to last week's 100% capacity. Kimberly Akimbo went from 473,617 last week to 483,378, going from 83.94 to 86.90. And again, I don't think these numbers are quite great for Kimberly Akimbo. And if they do not get a Best Musical win, they are closing. They need a Best Musical win in order to survive. If they do not get Best Musical, they're closing in June, 100%. But I think it will. Mulan Rouge had a great week, going from 1,300,000 to 1,400,000, going from 96.88% to 99.17%. And again, these numbers for Mulan Rouge are just exactly what it needed. Parade did very solid, going from 914,510 last week to 861,707 this week, going from 94.50 to 94.96. Shucked made 291,972 in its overall gross for 5 performances, 99.45% capacity, and an average ticket of $50. And the $50 is very important because that's why the gross was so low. Now my question is, having seen the show, and you guys know what I think, and if you haven't, check out the review on my channel. It's like the video before this. The average ticket is so low, and I'm wondering, like, is this the kind of show that is going to do great capacity-wise, but only if the ticket prices are so low? I'm thinking if this average ticket was $150, would the capacity be 99%? I don't think so. And most shows that start off in the $200,000 range don't do well. Again, I don't think this show is going to do very well. I don't think it's going to last very long. But again, it is the first week, so it's not, it's too early to tell. But if this show is not past the 500K mark by its third or fourth week, that's when we're in big trouble, for sure. And I just don't think this one's going to succeed. And you can know why I think that in my review. 6 went from 936,969 to $1 million this week, going from 92% to 96%. Some Like It Hot went from 62% to 70%, going from 663,635 to 772,567. And again, I think this show is just getting by. But again, I think it will close this year. Sweeney Todd is like gonna make 2 million very soon. It had 100% last week and this week, 7 performances, and 1,805,510 in the bank this week, compared to last week's 1,526,254. Let me take a breath. Sweeney Todd, it's bringing in the big dollars, and this show will be making 2 million very soon. And if you are a Sondheim fan, be grateful, because this is probably the most successful Sondheim revival maybe ever. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think a Sondheim musical has ever made this amount of paper in a single year, revival, whatever. Very happy about it. Although I've heard mixed things. I'm seeing it next month though. The Book of Mormon finally went from 878,000 back to 1 million, so that was good, and went from 94% to 99%. The Phantom continues to end its reign on Broadway strong with $2 million again, and that is all the grosses. And Wicked also announced that they've moved up the release date to November of 2024. Logo looks sick. That's all I gotta say on it. But this was from the same company that bought True Cats and Dear Evan Hansen, so yeah. But the guy that directed In the Heights is doing it, so hopefully it's successful. So like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.